Hello students, today we have come back again to take up a new topic in the case of your plant tissue, that is your permanent tissue. In permanent tissue we have at first read about the simple permanent tissue. Today we are going to read about the complex permanent tissue, and also we are going to read today about how to study the various kinds of layers of tissues found in the different parts of a TS of a dicot stem. TS means transverse section of a dicot stem. Any kind of that is your dicot stem, if you take and if you just cut it like this, okay, slice it like this, very thin slice, if you do it, then the various layers of the tissues are visible. That we are going to study in details today, and also the work or the activity or the components of the complex permanent tissues and how they are associated with the conduction and transportation. So let us go and see what are the various tissues at first in the TS of a dicot stem, followed by the complex permanent tissues. So in the tissues, today we are going to read about the complex permanent tissue, as I have told you, but before that I have drawn this TS of dicot stem. Okay, so this TS of dicot stem, it is from your book only, in that maybe it is not written as dicot, but the thing is about the dicot stem only. The dicot means that is the plants which have two cotyledons. So if we do a transverse section of any dicot stem, then the internal details of the tissues are like this, which we are now going to study. Okay, so let us get it closer. Okay, so the first layer of the tissues, this layer is called the epidermis. Okay, so this is called as your epidermis. The epidermis in case of roots are provided with unicellular root hair cells, if you remember. In case of stem, the epidermis is provided with multicellular hair-like structures. It is not unicellular. You can see here so many cells I have drawn. So these cells are known as your trichome. Okay, now this epidermis sometimes is externally covered by some cuticle layer to prevent the transpiration, and sometimes external, that is desiccation of the tissues, is also prevented by the help of the cuticle present in the epidermis. The next layer, this blue color tissues which I have drawn. Now these blue color tissues are collenchymatous tissues in case of your dicot stem, and it is known as your hypodermis. Hypo means below. Below what? Below your epidermis. Okay, this is made up of collenchymatous cell. You can see that here I have drawn so closely. You can see this, that is your corners of the collenchyma cells. I have made it dark, isn't it? The corners. So this will be giving it a mechanical strength. So the collenchymatous hypodermis. After the hypodermis, you can see here some spherical or oval shaped cells. Now these spherical or oval shaped cells togetherly, this is known as your cortex. Okay, so this is known as your cortex. It is made up of parenchyma cells. In between the cortex, sometimes some plants, they have some ducts. Okay, so these ducts can be your oil glands, or it can be your mucilage canals. You will find that some plants are there, no, in which you will, when you will be cutting the stem, some kind of slimy secretions are found. So those are called the mucilage canals. Okay, and sometimes oil ducts are also there. Like for example, you will find that case of sandalwood, that is the tree. If you make a section, then the kind of beautiful smell comes out, isn't it? So those are containing some kind of oil, means which are that is your having some perfume in it. So different types of modifications of the cortical cells are found in case of dicot stem. Next, you can see that some of these cortical cells are granulated, isn't it? You can see some granules I have drawn here. So these granules which I have drawn here, that is the starch granules present, and this layer particularly indicates the endodermis. So first one was epidermis, next one was your hypodermis, then was your cortex, and just the cortex is continued with a layer which is having some starch granules in it, and this layer is known as your endodermis. Below the endodermis, you can find some thick walled cells are there, which I have drawn with black. Now these are called as your pericycle. These are sclerenchymatous tissues which forms the pericycle. So since sclerenchyma is dead cells, so it helps to give mechanical strength to the plant. Okay, next this is the one below the pericycle. That this region is very important in the sense that it contains the conducting tissues. Now this small green color cells which I have drawn here, these small cells which I have drawn here, these are called as your phloem. Okay, these are called the phloem, which helps in the transportation of food materials within the plant's body. And this black color barrel shaped cells which I have drawn, that is known as your cambium. Okay, it is known as cambium. It is meristematic in nature, that means it will be dividing. It is made up of dividing cells. It on the outer side produces phloem and on the inner side it produces the xylem. So meristematic cells is cambium, which produces two types of cells. Add two types of cells. Outer cells are known as your phloem and the inner cells are known as your xylem. And togetherly this phloem, cambium and xylem is known as your vascular bundle. VASCULAR, vascular, BUNDLE. Okay, now this xylem. Now xylems are also the conducting tissues which help in the conduction of water and minerals in the plants, and they are made up of mainly of vessels in case of dicot stems. They are having four components. We will just now read about it, but presently these that is your lumen, this that is circular cells which are round cells in blue, these represents the xylem vessels. Okay, and you can see that the vessels are broader here and narrower in the center. So from outside to inside, if you see this broader, and then it is inside, it is smaller. Okay, so this is the arrangement of xylem in case of your stem. That is, the smaller vessels will be towards the center and the larger xylem vessels will be towards the outside. In case of root, it is not mentioned in your syllabus. It will be just opposite. That means the broader cells will be towards the center and the smaller cells will be facing towards the outer end. Okay, but we are reading about the dicot stem. So in case of stem, the broader one is outside and the smaller one is facing towards the center. Now after this is very important thing again, that is, see the xylem vessels which have been drawn with blue. In between you can see some green color cells. These are all parenchymatous cells which are ground tissues. We have talked about packing tissues, these are. Now these parenchyma cells, how do they appear? In between the that is your xylem vessels, they appear like rays, isn't it, like sun, radiating rays of sun. So these ray like structures which is produced by the parenchyma cells, they are known as your medullary rays. Okay, so medullary rays are formed in between the xylem, and these three, that is phloem, cambium and xylem, togetherly is known as your vascular bundle. And the parenchymatous cells towards the center of the stem, because it will be round off, isn't it? It is a section. So when you will be continuing it in a round form, so it will form a circle. So in the circle, the center will be what? The center is always called a pith, and this pith is made up of parenchymatous cells. So this is the TS of a dicot stem or TS of a stem, having the different layers of cells arranged, and it is given in your book also, and I have drawn and explained the various layers of the tissues associated with the TS of a dicot stem. This is very important and you have to practice it for your examination. Next we will move on to the complex permanent tissues. Okay, so let us take on the complex permanent tissues. The complex permanent tissues are named so because along with giving a mechanical support to the plant, they perform some other activities. We have seen in case of simple permanent tissues, their activities are only associated with some single function and they are made up of similar type of cells. But in case of your complex permanent tissues, they are made up of different types of cells. The origin is same, but the that is your differentiation of those tissues later on during the developmental stages makes them different from each other. Understood? So they are origin wise they are same, but function wise when they grow up, that time the function changes along with the mechanical support, because the permanent tissues primary function is mechanical support. Along with that, they help in the conduction. Conduction of what? In case of the xylem, conduction of water and minerals, and in case of phloem, it is conduction of food substances. Now we have just now seen in case of the TS of a dicot stem that the phloem, the cambium and the xylem togetherly is known as vascular bundle. So the complex permanent tissues togetherly is known as your vascular bundle, which comprises of the xylem, cambium and the phloem. Okay, the xylem's other name is known as wood. Okay, so sometimes in examination it can come, what is the other name of xylem? Then you have to write it wood. Similarly, the phloem's other name is known as bast, B-A-S-T. Okay, so this is the other name of phloem, and this is the other name of xylem. Now these complex permanent tissues, the major things, that is xylem and phloem, is further classified into various components. Each of them are having 4 components. Xylem is also having 4 components, phloem is also having 4 components. Okay, now what are the components of the xylem? Xylem's 4 components includes tracheids, trachea or vessels. Vessels and trachea means the same. You can write either trachea or you may write it as vessels. Xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Okay, so these are the 4 components of xylem. Now xylem is primarily made up of dead tissues. Okay, so what are the dead tissues here? The tracheids are dead tissues, the trachea are dead tissues, and the xylem fiber is dead tissues. Which is not dead, that is your, let us write it with red, that is your xylem parenchyma. See, it is made up of parenchyma tissue, and when we have read about the simple permanent tissues, that time we have come to know the parenchyma tissues are made up of the living cells. So out of these 4 components, which one is living? That is your xylem parenchyma is living, and the rest 3, that is tracheids, trachea or vessels, and xylem fibers, they are made up of the dead components. Okay, now the tracheids are having the, that is your cylindrical structures which are tapered. Now tapered means what? Let me draw it here, then it will be clear for you. So it will be somewhat like this, with the end which is closed. Okay, so the end is closed in case of your tracheids. And in case of vessels, how it will be? It will be having the structures, cylindrical structures, but it will be having the ends which are not tapered, and it will be having some, you know, that is structures through which, if there are 2 tracheas, okay, which are connected end to end, then the connection between them can be easily obtained. That means movement of substance can take place through this trachea. So this trachea or the vessels are the characteristic features of the higher plants. Now what are these higher plants? In case of your angiosperms, that means the flowering plants, this trachea is present. Okay, the trachea is present. The tracheids are also present, trachea is also present, parenchyma is also present, xylem fiber is also present. But if you talk about plants, lower plants like that of your ferns, okay, that is your pteridophyta. Ferns means Dryopteris. You might have noticed ferns are there, which are small heighted plants. In them, they have, they are land plants, they have the tracheids, they have the xylem parenchyma, they have the fibers, but they do not have this trachea in them. Okay, gymnosperms like Cycas, Pinus, you might have seen these plants around you. Now this Cycas, Pinus, they do not bear flower. They are called gymnosperms because they have the cones, they have woody cones as their flowers. They do not bear flowers like the attractive flowers which we see around us. So those plants, although they are also big heighted plants, but they also lack this vessels or trachea. In them tracheids are there, xylem parenchyma is there, and xylem fibers are there. In them water conduction takes place through this tracheids and xylem parenchyma. Xylem parenchyma is mainly associated with the storage of food, but they can also help in the lateral conduction of water and minerals. And xylem fibers, they are dead and they have a very narrow lumen. Okay, let me draw, then it will be clearer for you. So if suppose this is a xylem fiber, so the lumen is very, you know, narrow in them. That means they have the cell wall which is very thick. Okay, very thick like this. So they have a cell wall which is very thick, and the lumen means the inside, that is this cavity. This lumen in them is very narrow and they have thick cell wall. The cell wall is lignified, that means extra deposition of lignin is there on the cell wall, which makes them strong and flexible, and this gives mechanical support to the plant. Okay, so these are the various kinds of, you can say, components of xylem, that is tracheids, trachea, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers, out of which xylem parenchyma is only living and the rest 3 are your non-living. And tracheids are having the cells which have the ends which are closed, okay, and they have some kind of, you know, perforations in their wall. Okay, now they have some markings, or you can say some perforations on them. They also have the perforations on them. Now this perforation does not mean it is completely perforated. It is not pore. It is that the cell wall of this cells, which is made up of cellulose, on them the deposition which takes place, that is lignin or hemicellulose, which is deposited on this cell wall, it is not deposited uniformly. It is only deposited to some portions. So the portions which remain empty, that means where only cellulose is there but no lignin has been deposited, no hemicellulose have been deposited, they are thin. So through them easily exchange of water and minerals can take place. So this kind of structures are found in case of your tracheids and trachea. And xylem parenchyma, they are spherical or round or oval shaped, and they help in the storage of food substances, and lateral conduction of water and minerals also takes place by means of your xylem parenchyma. And xylem fibers, they gives mechanical strength as because they are highly lignified, dead, and they have very thin lumen in between them. The phloem, the next complex permanent tissue, is associated with the movement of food substances within the plant's body. And also I did not tell you that the xylem, the food substance, that is water and minerals, move from the roots to the leaves only in one direction. But in case of phloem, the food substances moves from the leaves to each and every part of the plant, because food has to reach to each and every cell of the plants, because it has to be utilized. Every part of the plant has to grow. If you want to have more knowledge about this xylem and phloem, how do the conduction takes place, you can see one more video of class 10. I have given the link of that video in the description box. You can go through it and see that how the conduction takes place in case of plants by the help of the xylem and the phloem. The phloem has the following parts: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. So out of this four, the one which is non-living is only the phloem fibers. Okay, the rest three, that is the sieve tubes, companion cells, and phloem parenchyma, they are made up of living tissues. So it is opposite of xylem. In case of xylem, only one was living and the rest three were non-living. But in case of phloem, it is just opposite. Three are living and only one is non-living, and that non-living is your phloem fibers. Okay, this fibers helps in giving mechanical strength to the plant. It has nothing to do with the conduction of the food substances. But the rest three, that is the sieve tubes, companion cells, and phloem parenchyma, are associated with the conduction of food substances. The sieve tubes are living, but they do not have any nucleus in them. They have protoplasm, but they do not have nucleus in them. They are perforated, through which the food substances can easily pass through. Just next to the sieve tubes is companion cells. What is the meaning of companion? Companion means friend, isn't it? So these companion cells are just adjacent to the sieve tubes, which help to provide the nutrition supply or any other living material to the sieve tubes, because they lack the nucleus. So whatever necessary things they need it, that will be supplied by that of the companion cells. So they are adjacent to each other, and just external to these two are the phloem parenchyma, through which again the storage substances can be there found, or else the conduction of the food material can take place. And the substances are moved in the plant's body bidirectionally by the help of phloem, whereas the water and minerals by the help of this tracheids, trachea, takes place in the plant's body unidirectionally, that is from the roots to the leaves. Okay, so these are the complex permanent tissues discussed in your syllabus of NCERT, and I hope you have understood the complex permanent tissues, the components of the complex permanent tissues well. That's all for today's class. I hope you have understood today about the TS of the dicot stem, the various layers of the tissues which we have studied, and also about the complex permanent tissues, that is the xylem and the phloem, and the components of xylem and components of phloem, and how they are associated with the conduction of water and minerals in case of xylem, and the transportation of food in case of phloem. Next we will start the animal tissue chapter. I hope you understood today's chapter well. Thank you.